I'm dating coach and relationship expert Jennifer Hurwitz, and welcome to Doing Relationships Right. Raw, authentic, and insightful, this podcast is a no bullshit look at all things dating and relationships. The good, the not so good, and the what the hell was that? No worries, I've got you, and we'll figure it all out together without taking ourselves too seriously here on Doing Relationships Right. You frustrated with how superficial dating has become? Tired of wasting time on the wrong people? Well, meet Weaver. Weaver is the first and only dating app based on core values that will alert you to red flags and deal breakers before the first message. A valuable tool that facilitates intentional dating for more meaningful connections, Weaver makes it easy to vet who's right or wrong for you based on what's most important, your values. Available in the U.S. only for now. The first 2,000 who sign up get upgraded to the unlimited tier for free. You can find and download Weaver by searching Weaver Dating. That's WEAVER in the App Store or by going to weaverdating.com. If you're interested in learning more about the research behind Weaver's core values approach, again, search Weaver Dating and sign up today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is Doing Relationships Right. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz. I'm your host every Tuesday. I feel like I say this every Tuesday. I'm your host every Tuesday and sometimes on Fridays, but I'm here today and I'm with Amit Sodha. Did I do it?
Yes. Perfect. Spot on.
Yay. I did it right. I'm so glad. Okay. So I love, everyone knows this. I usually have like female guests and we talk about love and romance and love, but I have a guy here today. So all my female listeners are like, yes, it's a male perspective. I love it. And they're getting out their pencils and they're taking notes and they're okay, girls. And guys too, because I have both. But like, I'm so glad you're here because I have some questions for you that women want to know.
Perfect.
Like, I know we want to know this. I'm so happy. You're a dating coach. You're a national radio presenter. You're a speaker. You're a podcast host of your own podcast, which I was on.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And it was a great episode.
It was so fun. I love talking to you. Did we meet in Clubhouse?
We did absolutely meet in Clubhouse. Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause you're in London.
Yes, absolutely.
I got to come visit you.
Oh, you do. Do you know who's here next week? Actually, Kimmy Seltzer. Do you know Kimmy?
Yes, I do. She coming really?
Yeah, she's in London next week. So we're meeting up and going for a bit of a spot of brunch.
A spot of
as
brunch.
We do in London.
Oh, that is a spot of brunch. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're here this morning. Wait, what time is it?
It is 4 p.m.
See, I'm bad with money. I'm bad with time. Anything with numbers. I'm not your girl.
Okay, don't worry.
Besides that. Okay. So awesome. Feel Inspired podcast. Awesome. Okay. Let's get right into it. Right into it. So I was stalking you. I love to stalk my guests before they come on the show. So I know, more about you, but you had a reel that I loved, which really was like, I love all your stuff. Things that turn men off.
Oh, yes.
Things that turn men off. Did you get a lot of kickback for that one? Pushback or no?
I did. Yeah. It's really funny. The first comment was, we'll do one for men. Well, that's a get. How many are there for men anyway? I mean, there's loads, right? But I'm going to do one. In fact, that's one of the videos I'm going to film today. In fact, actually.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. And it's interesting. I'll tell you just a little bit of a backstory about this as well. So when I met my wife, although she wasn't a dating coach, the one book that really made a big impact on her was The Rules, which I'm sure you've heard of, right?
Course.
Exactly, right? So that was what really impacted her. So she really took that to heart when she read it. And I think it's even though it's an oldie, but it's a goodie, it's still a classic. And it's just a reminder that, because I get this question so many times from women, the guy hasn't done this yet, should I do it? The guy hasn't made his move, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that, etc. Should I do it? And I'm like, there's a word that I use which facilitates this well, and the word is prompt. So like, for example, when my wife and I were dating, she was very good at prompting me. She was like, she would say, a real man would open the door for me. Like, this is not at the time. She just dropped these little subtle hint, and like I said, not these exact words. She was very clever. She was very smart. And this is one of the reasons I fell in love with her. But she was very good at dropping these little prompts, reminding me that actually she was giving me all the clues essentially as to what I needed to do to win her over, which I loved, right? Yeah, it made it so much easier. A very gross example, I think it's really important that the guy offers to pay. I think it's very good.
I love this conversation.
Brilliant.
We have this all the time. I posted one of your reels on my TikTok and did you see that? People were like, oh my God, it was from Steve Harvey, but then I reposted it. This is a great conversation too, because I know we agree on this 100%.
Yes, 100%. And so it's little things like that. And then there was the other video I did recently, also got quite a lot of kickback as well about the whole kind of the 3 alpha traits that women have that put men off as well.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. So that was good. That was good fun.
Oh, let's go there too. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead.
So one of the main things, and this is the key one, I think, is taking action, but not prompting. So say, for example, classic example, he hasn't asked me out yet. Should I do it? And I'm like, no, don't do that, because what you're immediately doing is becoming the alpha. You're the one who's turning him into the prey. It doesn't work that way. That's not how we work. That's not the way we're wired. So what you need to do is prompt him. And what I mean by that in this classic example is say something like, if you were to ask me out, I don't think I'd say no. You could.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, say that again.
So if you were to ask me out, I wouldn't say no. I could say maybe. Do you know what I mean? You could still be flirty. You could still be playful with it. But you've given him the go-ahead now to completely ask you out and to say, oh, well, in that case, shall we go for a coffee? And she'll be like, yeah, sounds good. Tempt me a little bit more. This is where you can be playful now and just have a bit of a laugh, get the banter going. So, what else are you going to throw in on this deal? This is how you have fun with it. And so you're not taking away that action from him. He's still got to do it. But what you're doing is just enabling him so that he can. And then it's like, I'm sure you've had it, Jen, in the past, right? Guys have complained as well. Why are women so complicated? Why don't they just make it clear? Why don't they, do this? And it is the typical thing. But at least this way, you're throwing him a bit of a bone so he understands. He's got it. You've made it much more simpler for him. And then he knows what to do now. So he can just go on and do it.
And that's why you're here. Because as a coach, I'm a coach and I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't I tell? Because I tell my clients, go ask him. It's fine. Go ask him. Because I'm so like, me, I'm like, oh, whatever. No games, no games. Because I'm so aggressive. I'm like, just ask him out. Who cares? The client's like, it doesn't work. Okay. That's why you're here. I love it. Okay. So that's perfect. That's awesome. So I just want to write that down right now myself. Good thing you're here.
Yeah.
Good thing. Yeah. Okay. So what number 2? Was that number 1?
That was number 1. And then I think it's doing all the decision making as well. So it's like, if, for example, in the beginning as well, and this does sound a little bit crude at times, but if you understand it, it becomes clear. So what I say to women is you've got to train him up like a dog. And I know guys will be angry at the statement, but it's the truth. So what I mean by that is you're always deciding, if, for example, if he says to you, where would you like to go? And you answer him, guess what you've also done? You've also become the alpha straight away. So what I say is that instead of, from a guy's perspective, obviously his thing is to, kind of maybe make a few suggestions. Say, I know you like Chinese. I know a couple of good places where you may love to go.
Yes, thank you.
Exactly, right?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
So if he does end up saying that, something like, where would you like to go? If you take the initiative and start planning everything, guess what? He's going to become complacent later on in the relationship. He's going to start letting you do all the work. And then further and further down the line, it's just going to end up being a complete pack. And if you do that from day one, guess what's going to happen? It's going to happen when the relationship progresses, and it's just going to irritate you. So you don't do it. You've got to drop the hints. But make them clear, not vague hints, not ambiguous. Just say, well, I happen to like Chinese. I happen to like Chinese food. You know that. I tell you what, I think I trust your opinion. You choose one and I'll go with that. Job done.
Love it.
Simple though, isn't it? So simple.
But why can't we? Because do you know that there's a stat that I just read that says that oh my God, I can't get it right, but it's a crazy number that 87% of fights between men and between us are over what to eat for dinner.
So true.
Oh my God. It was that's what we're fighting about, this bullshit. But you're right. Make that. Oh my God. That's so true, because my last relationship, he's wonderful. I love him. He's a great guy. We broke up after 6 years. That was our biggest fight. He's like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, oh my God, just plan something. Just freaking plan something. I don't care what it is, right?
Exactly.
It's hard. It's hard because once you get in that rut.
And that's it. The pattern will continue. But if you do it this way from the beginning, guess what? You're training him to do it. And then obviously appreciate when he's done that as well. So once again, just to remind you, so what you do is you drop those words emerge from his mouth, you don't want to engage in that. What you want to do is still bounce back to him and just say, well, I like Indian food. So I tell you what, I trust your judgment because I know, honey, you make good choices. So we'll go where you're going, type of thing, right? And then obviously he's going to feel like, oh, okay, she's gonna like my choice.
She trusts me.
She trusts me. And then the guy's going to do what he's supposed to do, which is make the decision and then arrange the date, go out, do all of the rest of the stuff as well.
But then you can't, when he makes the choice, you can't hate on it.
No, definitely not.
Right?
100%, yeah.
Because then what happens?
Exactly, because then what have you taught him? Well, my decisions are no good.
You can't do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't be a real bitch about it.
Yeah. And even
what if he chooses?
And even if it's not, right, even if it was terrible choice. Again, there is a way to do it. You can do it more tactfully and say, do you know, this wasn't bad. I reckon you could, I believe in you. I think you could find somewhere even better than this.
Oh my God, I want to date you, right? Like, doesn't ever, do you see what I'm listeners, are you writing this down? Because that's exactly how it should go.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't beat the guy up for making plans, because then he's not going to make them again. I feel like I might have done that in my last relationship.
Yeah. Like, you know, the analogy I give to women is that I say this to a lot of women that I coach, that if let's paint the picture. You've just got dolled up for a date. You've just, you know, put on your glad rags, you know, done all your makeup perfectly, your hair, everything, right? And you've gone down the stairs and your partner is there and you're waiting for him to acknowledge you and he doesn't, right? And how does that feel? Yeah, I mean, and look, we know that you don't need him to validate you, but you still want your partner to appreciate when you've made an effort and to acknowledge, hey, you look good today. You look really nice, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry to say it, but we blokes are dumb and we make this mistake all the time. I do it, you know, my wife still bitch slaps me around and, you know, honey, how do I look? And I have to, but then I make up for it. I'm straight on it. I'm like, oh my God, honey, you look amazing, right? Now,
but she prompted you.
She prompted me. Yeah, she prompted me.
Right.
But think about it from a guy's perspective now. Most guys don't get acknowledged or appreciated for the small things. And imagine the difference in your relationship if you did. And sometimes he's going to make rubbish decisions. And that is life, though. That happens. But even that he made the effort, acknowledge it. But you can still say to him, do you know what? The Indian food was okay at this place. Let's try somewhere different next time. Let's try a different Indian place. Let's see where else we can find, what mysteries we can find out there, and what cool places will do an even better curry or whatever it is that you love. There you go. So you haven't, and you know, what do guys hate more than anything? Criticism. So you haven't, you haven't criticized him. You've still said, you've shown your appreciation, and you've just encouraged him and prompted him to find somewhere different next time. And that's it. Simple as that.
All my male listeners are like, I want to date you. That's what they're thinking right now. They're like, where do we find someone? I mean, because, you know, I really do. You're right. Like, I feel like in the moment, women can be so snotty. Girls, you can be really super snotty. I'm just saying, you have to hold yourself accountable for your crap, girls. You know?
Do, yeah. And, you know, when you just think of that example, that one example, you've just dolled up and you're downstairs and waiting for your husband or your partner or whatever to say something, and they don't. You feel like crap. Well, this is what guys feel like a lot of the time, because they very rarely get acknowledged for the good stuff that they do. So when you do this, guess what? They want to do more. They will enjoy doing more because they know they're going to get patted on the head, you know, like a dog, like a good boy. And, you know, that's a bit of a crude example, but it's true though. We like it. We do like it deep down. We appreciate it and we like it, and we'll do more and we'll keep doing it.
See, this is the best episode. But you're going to do another one, the opposite. So these were things that turn men off.
Yeah, things that turn men off, right? The women do that turn men off, right?
Yeah, and if you need help with things that turn women off, I'm right here for you.
Yeah.
Anytime, give me a shout, because I think that's so true, that men really just want to be appreciated. They really do.
Yeah, you know? So true.
You can see it in their demeanor, in their body, everything, when you tell them, like, I really appreciate you. You know, like I do. I appreciate what you've done today and what you did for our family. And it's just super important.
I'm quite a domesticated husband, right? I'll tell you just something funny for a laugh. I watched 2 videos on TikTok recently, right? So I like to do, I'm a tidy, clean freak, right? So if I open my underwear drawer for you now, I'll share a picture. You can even share it at some point, right? My drawer is fully KonMari'd, right? So like everything's upright.
I love her.
Oh my God. No, this is me doing this. So I'm more tidy than my wife, right? So I do this in all my drawers with all my t-shirts, my underwear, things like that, right? And then I saw 2 TikTok videos. One was showing you how to put on a duvet cover, much easier. So,
oh, can you send it to me?
Yes, I will.
It took me 2 hours last week, 2 hours to put my duvet on. I was sweating, dripping sweat. Like, it's the most activity I did in a year.
You will love it. Sorry, my feminine side is coming out right now. You'll love it. This video, we did it this morning, me and my wife together, right? I didn't believe it would work. We did it, and it was just like, oh my God, we both like, it's like magic when it works. You're like, oh my God.
Did you turn it inside out?
Turn it inside out thing. So you basically, honestly, so easy to do that when you've done it. And then the second one was how to fold your towels, like a new way to put your towels and make them look really neat and tidy. I'll send you this one as well, right? So
please.
I just practiced on 2 towels in the other room, the beach towels that my wife and I took on holiday, and I've wrapped them up and they look all pretty. And I really should have just brought one in here and shown you. But no, women, this is just for the gentlemen. This is something women don't mind, actually. When you actually take charge of something, right? It doesn't matter if you have a domesticated side like I do, which is I don't let my wife do the laundry. I do it because I have a system.
Wait, excuse me. Wait, hold on one second. Can you say that a little bit louder?
Yeah, I don't let my wife touch the laundry. I do it. I have a system. And if she interrupts it, I get really upset.
Oh my God, that is me. I'm the same. But seriously, my dad, I grew up in my house. My dad did all the laundry. And my mom's friends would make fun of my mom and be like, how do you get your husband to do your laundry? And she would say, he has a system.
Yep.
You can't mess with his system.
Oh my God. And that is it. This is what men like. Once they develop a system on something, forget about it. Just get out of his hair, get out of his way. You like anyone touches my tools or anything. I'm going to try and be masculine now as well. Anyone touches any of my tools or anything like that.
Too late.
No, it's true.
We took your card. But I feel the same way about laundry, but it's so true. Like, and I feel like men, they want to be wanted and they want to be needed. And if you give them a job and they're like, oh, I'm going to hold myself accountable. In my last relationship, I would say to my boyfriend, like he would do some like amazing work outside. Like my house, it was gorgeous, like the lawn, the shrubs, the flowers, and I would stand there outside and watch him.
Oh.
Just watch him. And because like it's not my thing. I don't even know how to do any of that. But I would just say, oh my God, it's so pretty. It's so whatever. But I think he thought that I was like watching because he was going to screw it up.
Oh, bless him.
You know what I'm saying? But like I wasn't, I just couldn't, and I'd go inside and then I'd feel guilty. Like that he was working so hard. And then I was just watching TV.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So like,
you're a lovely partner as well. Amazing. Am I sounding really British right now? Lovely partner as well. It's really coming out at the moment. I don't know why.
You're just lovely. Everything's so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think relationships are hard, but I think you're everything that you're saying is so spot on. If we could just really do it in the moment, or at least hold ourselves accountable afterwards and say, I wish I would have done this. I'm sorry that I didn't.
100%, right? It makes such a difference. It's the little things at the end of the day that will keep the relationship strong, because it's the little things that once, they start to grate on you that build and build and build. And that's where people tend to explode, right? So if you can sort out and have a good system for the little things, then your relationship is probably going to be stronger and healthier. Like, my wife and I've had this fight before where, there are times when I definitely need my man cave time. And it's a hard thing for a guy to say to any woman, look, I need my space. Leave me alone for just an hour, 2 hours a day, right? That's just all I need is my time. And it's, in the same way when flipping it around, when she wants attention and love, obviously I've got to give it to her. When I need my space, I've got to tell her. I've got to be man up enough to tell her. Sorry for using the man up phrase, but man up enough.
You just want your card back.
Yeah.
I think you're just trying to get your card back.
I've even got a little sign in my office just there that says man cave. But it's so true. It's the little things that if you can work on the little things like that, appreciating him for the little things he does, him, for you doing, understanding that you like to be appreciated when you've tried something on and you want to be acknowledged that it looks good, whatever the scenario is. But I think that can make the make or break a relationship.
And I think sometimes it's about your ego.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get to the point where one of you has to give, one of you has to come up and be that person who lets their ego down. But sometimes you just can't do it. People just cannot do it, but you got to. There has to be someone that drops that ego and says, I appreciate you.
There's very little ego in healthy relationships, isn't it? Otherwise,
I love that. Say that
there's very little ego in healthy relationships.
That's your tagline. I love it.
There you go. I'm going to keep that one.
Keep that one. Write that down. I might steal it, but I'll give you credit. That is there's very little ego in healthy relationships. That's good. That is really good. You need to put that on a meme.
I think I'm going to do that.
But then use your name because people steal crap.
Of course, yes, they do.
God almighty, they steal crap. Okay, I have only I have 10 more minutes. Can I go to another topic? Can I move to being busy? Because this is a really big one for me too, where everyone's like, I'm so busy to date. I can't date. I'm so busy. And then busy doesn't make you special. Like being busy doesn't, when people say I'm busy when they're dating and then they think that that's like cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to put myself on a pedestal about this because we've all done it, I think, right? We've all said to people in everyday life, I'm so busy at the moment. And it, even for me, it slips out day to day, right? But I don't mean to say that because genuinely I am busy and it's not just something I'm saying for the sake of saying it.
Right, me too. I say it
too.
But
I think what happens is so many people, when they first meet, for example, on a dating app, what have you been up to? Oh, I'm so busy at the moment. But then it goes to the next level. So when should we meet? Oh, I'm really busy at the moment. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to find time. Why the hell are you there, right? And I don't know about you, Jen, but I have this thing where I say to people, look, most people, if you were going for a job, would you just send one CV and that is it? No, you're going to sacrifice everything to get that ideal job that you want. So you're going to make the time for it. You're going to, get your resume, update it 100 times, send it to 100 jobs before you get that ideal job, right? And how many hours is that going to take? 50, 100, 200, who knows? And yet, when it comes to dating, for a job, we make that much effort. But for dating, we make so little effort. So to continue that analogy, I mean, how much time do you spend preparing a CV? And how much time do people actually spend on their dating profiles? Probably very little. And how much time do they actually spend in learning how to converse with someone? Again, very little. You spend time rehearsing with a friend. If it's a job interview you want, you'll say, please test me, ask me questions, because it's important to you. People forget to put the same amount of importance into dating. And, then people say throw out these phrases, I'm really busy at the moment and I'm not sure when I can see you. And, I think that's probably one of the bugbears that comes near the top, right? And I say to people, look, you have to treat dating like a full-time job for a little while. For 6 months or a year, focus on it and nothing else. Forget going to the gym for 6 months or a year. Maybe just, cut down, but just sacrifice some other time of some other things you're doing and put it towards this. And you're wondering why it's taking you 5 years to meet someone. Do this and you're more likely to meet someone within 6 months, a year, and have that long-lasting relationship that you've been looking for. So set that time aside. Stop using that. Ban yourself from using that word, because it's just harming you. No one else. It's not making you look good. You're the only one who's going to suffer as a result. So scrap that word. Make a promise to yourself you're going to stop saying it, and make frigging time to go and date. I say to everyone, 1 day a week. When you're single, make one sacred evening a week, which is date night. Whether you have a date or not, make it sacred and have a date with your mum, your friend, your dad, whatever, whoever, but make it a habit that is your one night you will not compromise on. That is available for dates.
I love that. But do you think that people say that they're busy because it's a way to get out of a date? Or do you think people are saying they're busy because they're not ready to date? Or do you think the people say they're busy as just an excuse to not date at all?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an, I think all of the above. It's such a bad excuse, right? So sometimes people will say it if they're not genuinely interested in the person. And I think to myself, look, if I was on a date with you right now, Jen, if you were my perfect, like in my head and heart right now, you're my perfect soulmate, would I ever utter the words, oh, I'm too busy to see you? Hell no, right? Hell no, it ain't happening. It's not going to happen, because if I meet someone who I want to give my heart and soul to, I'm never going to utter those words. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we can meet. I will move mountains to make sure it happens. So it's just that people have become lackluster. Even if they do meet someone, they haven't given enough time to find it out. And so they've just...
Oh, I hate that. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah.
When people, my clients come to me and they're like, well, you know what? It was okay, but I'm not sure. And I don't really know. And I'm like, oh my, please go again, go out again, give it another, it's just...
Do you know what? I agree with you so much. And can I just tell you a really quick story? So my wife and I, we have two admins that help us on our Facebook group for singles, and they met through the group and got engaged. So when they became our admins, they met and they got engaged. So this was about 10 weeks ago. They had their engagement party. My wife and I went, and it was lovely, but we didn't know anyone there, right? So we didn't have a clue. And I even said to my wife, I said, look, let's hang around. We were going to leave early, but I said, let's hang around for a bit longer. I feel like I'm rusty at talking to strangers. I need to network more. Let's go talk to people. So we went and spoke to this one couple. We'd never met them before. They met the same year we did, me and my wife, and we asked them, okay, so how did you guys meet? She said, well, firstly, I didn't like him after the first date, right? And so we said, okay, so how did the second date happen? Well, she said, he asked me out, and my dad was out of town, and I was just really hungry, so I just went for the food. And they just had a baby as well, literally. So they're married, and they've just had their first baby. And we were like, how cool is that? Imagine she hadn't gone for that second.
Well, that's me too. Yeah. I just got out of a 5.5-year relationship. The first date I went on with him, we both were like, check, please. Like, couldn't believe it. We had talked on Match for 3 weeks, and the banter was amazing. We had a great connection on Match and texting, and we got to the date and we were like, oh my God. I was like, who is this person? He's nothing like the guy in the whatever. And we both were done, and he dropped me off and we were like, see ya. And I think it was like, a week later, he called me and said, can we do that again? Because I think he was thinking that really sucked and it was awful, but like maybe we were both nervous. And I was like, sure. And 5.5 years later, I mean,
wow, there you go. Right. Yeah, and same again, another couple, a lady who I'd coached as well. She was there. I was asking her, how's your dating life? She said, I've met someone. It's been 6 months. She said, after the first date, I didn't like him. And I said the same thing. I said, so how did the second date happen? She just said, well, I just thought, let me just give him one more chance. And look what happened. They're together now. And they were just about to go on their first holiday together. So they were dating. They weren't married, but they were just about to go on their first holiday together. So I think just never know.
I think you're just nervous. I think some people just aren't good in the first date. And like, I happen to be a very good first dater. But like some people aren't. I mean, some people just can't, they can't get their shit together and it's difficult. So I just think dating, I love how you say that, you should put so much into it, your first year, your first whatever, and treat it like a job. Even though some coaches say not to treat it like a job, including me. I'm like, it shouldn't be a job. It should be fun. But you're right. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I do agree with that. I think that if you have to go all in because otherwise you're like kind of half-assing it. And then what do you?
And you're right. I think my first rule for everyone is it's got to be fun, but you've got to be serious about this fun. It's got to be seriously organized fun.
Yes, let's put it together. That's right. Seriously organized fun.
Exactly, right? Like Monica style from Friends, right? Organized fun. That's how we like it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, she's my favorite.
That's who my wife is. She's a Monica character.
Wait, but I tell this every time I ask you. I love the story about the bowling. Was that you or you?
No, so it was that was a friend. Yeah, so that was one of the first couples that me and my wife brought together, and they're married. They've got their first child as well, and it's saying exactly the same thing. So after the first date, she they met on our Facebook group. I think he liked her comment or she liked his. That's how they met. Had their first date, she was not interested, but he had already organized the second date. So she just kind of thought, well, he's gone to all this effort, so I'm just going to go anyway. And she liked him more the second time, and they're married and they have a kid. And I see their social media updates. They're doing really well, happy in a relationship, and it's amazing. A beautiful couple as well. Beautiful couple.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Amit, I got to ask you some questions. First of all, I think you have a dating something coming up that you wanted to talk about.
I do, yeah. I'm going to be doing my dating mastery workshop, which is going to be coming up towards the end of October. So I'm looking forward to that as well. It's been a while since I've done one, so I'm looking forward to doing it again now. And this is where I go over all of this stuff from start to beginning. So from a system base, so like how do you create an eye-catching profile, all the way through how to create that personal magnetism on a first date, second date, how to actually really engage, create that rapport, how to have banter, flirty, fun conversation, how to overcome some of the challenges. Like, for example, I say to people, there's two things that you need to be aware of. One is rejection, which is when it's outright no, and there's objection, where someone says, look, I had a good time, but that's an objection. And this is where you can throw in a bit of banter, fun stuff, and see what happens. Like, I got loads of second dates through doing that. So that's the other thing. And then all the way through to the end and how you progress to the point where it then becomes a relationship. So all of that early stage, how to overcome those nerves, have some fun. We even partner people up, have practice dates, and just have a laugh.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, but people can find you, even though you're in London, people can find you everywhere. And you have your TikTok, your Facebook, your Instagram, everywhere. So, and give us your everything.
Oh, yes, indeed. So just if you go to my main homepage, unlimitedchoice.org, and then if you click on connect, and then it's got all my links, my TikTok, my Instagram, everything is there. And then when I do my dating workshop, it'll be advertised. I'll have the link there as well.
Perfect. And everything's going to...
I was just going to say as well, by the way, if anyone wants a 30-minute coaching session as well, the link is also there. Just book in, have a free 30-minute session, no obligation, no sales pitch. Just come and have a session.
You give a free 30...
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. See, this is when I'm like, why did I bring him on my show? Now you get a free... I'm just kidding. But you know what? I would tell you, so my new book is coming out. Actually, it'll be out in October, like around my birthday. I'm turning 50 and I wrote my third book, and it's coming out in October, and it's all about, I'm listening to your masterclass going, God, that sounds like my book. So maybe we can get together and do another podcast. We'll talk about your masterclass and we'll talk about my book.
Fantastic. Sounds like a
perfect. I love it. I love it. So I'm so glad you were here, because this is like a great episode filled with so much great crap for everybody. I appreciate you.
Oh, no, I loved it as well. Thank you so much, Jen. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Amit, so much.
Absolute pleasure.
Oh, I loved it. So everything's going to be in the show notes, and it's Amit Sodha. I said it so fast. It's Sodha.
That's it, but pronounced just the same. So I call my dad Soda Pops.
Soda.
Like Soda Pop.
That's a great last name. Oh my gosh. And how long have you been married? Not a long time.
Yeah, 5 years now this month. 5 years.
5 years?
5 years this month.
What's it? It's been 5 years.
5 years.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yay. See, so happiness does happen.
Yeah,
like I feel like everyone's like, coaches need coaches, and then we get married, and then, just happy. Okay, everybody, I'm enough. It's enough talking for me. And thank you, Amit, for being here. I'm just thrilled. So anyways, do something great. I say this every time too. Go out and do something fun today. And you can find me. You know where to find me, jenniferhurwitz.com, Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And I have nothing new to tell you except for my new book is coming out. And I just said that. So my new book, Midlife Priceless, not midlife crisis, but midlife priceless.
Love it.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, I love that.
I think it's so cute. It's so cute. Thank you. My kid helped me. He's like, Mom, you're not having a midlife crisis. It's like midlife priceless. I'm like, I'll take it. It's a dating coach's guide to doing relationships right, which is kind of fun. And that's that. So everybody, thank you, Amit, one more time. And have a great day, everybody. Peace, love, and so much truth. Bye, guys. Hey, thanks for listening to Doing Relationships Right. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the show, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast episodes. And please grab my books, One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, on my website, jenniferhurwitz.com. And look out for my new book, all about doing dating right, coming soon. As usual, thanks for listening. See you next week. Peace, love, and truth.